Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Good morning, honorable members. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mananiso. Good morning. We'll be starting shortly with our meeting. Honorable members, it's 10 o'clock on the dot. This is our committee meeting for the Select Committee on Public Petitions and Executive Undertakings. Honorable members, good morning. Welcome to all the stakeholders. Good morning to all the honorable members who are on the platform. Good morning to our officials and our secretariat. Mr. Mkhize, I'm going to request you to flight the agenda for us on the screen. Thank you very much, Mr. Mkhize. Honorable members, here is our agenda. Today is Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. We are meeting on the virtual platform. And then is our agenda. We've got the opening and welcome, which I'm going to come to. We've got the consideration and adoption of the agenda. We've got number 2, the progress report on the Khutsong petition and further engagements. with the Office of the Premier, the Gauteng Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, the Merafong City Local Municipality for additional oral submissions. We have the deliberations by members, Q&A, and then closure. Honorable members, I welcome you all to this meeting on the virtual platform. Thank you very much for availing yourselves. Mr. Mkhize, can you just have an indication for me? Do we have a quorum for our meeting for this morning?
Morning, honorable members and colleagues. Yes, Chair, we do have a quorum for this meeting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And then can you just take us through the apologies that you have?
Okay, the apologies that I have, Chair, currently it's from Honorable Khutsong and Honorable Nokonyana. That's all, Chair.
Thank you very much. We have got two apologies from Honorable Khutsong and Honorable Nokonyana. Honorable Nokonyana is the whip of this committee, and Honorable Gauteng is the member of this committee. Honorable members, you would know that the two members are also in another engagement, just for information, attending the interviews at the Judicial Service Commission, just to give that a bit of context. Honorable members, those are the two apologies. Do you accept them?
Chairperson?
Honorable Mananiso?
Yes, apologies are in order. One would want to accept them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is very progressive. Honorable members, we're going to go for the first item on the agenda, which is the consideration and adoption of the agenda. Here is an agenda. I went through it earlier on. Can we have a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the agenda?
Chairperson, good morning, and good morning, colleagues.
Honorable Gerike, over to you.
I so propose that we accept the agenda. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Gerike. Any seconder for the move by Honorable Gerike?
Honorable Chairperson, I have raised my hands. I want to
yes, I see.
Second the agenda is presented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, honorable members. Those are the two members who have moved for the adoption of the agenda. Flight again, Mr. Mkhize. I'm not seeing the agenda. We are a full team. I've been informed that we have our colleagues from the Gauteng legislature who are also sitting in this meeting. I want to welcome and acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Gentile, who is the chairperson of the Petitions Committee in Gauteng, in the Gauteng legislature. We really appreciate your support and your participation in this. I know some members of the committee are also with us. I just think that we should also note our sister committee from the Gauteng legislature. Honorable members, without further ado, that is the report. You'll recall that this petition is an ongoing petition that we have, and we are dealing with it as the committee. It's actually literally a year now we've been engaging on the Khutsong petition. We've had a number of engagements. We were in Gauteng at the petitions hearing. We did a physical, or what you call normally a local inspection of this petition, giving it our 100% and undivided attention. We had to deliberate on it, bring it to the attention of the NCOP. The report was adopted, and we felt as a committee that it is going to be a continuous effort because it's issues emanating from the petition are very severe, and they will need a continued a monitoring from the petitions committee from the NCOP. Now today, we are meeting as per we agreed about 3 months ago. We went to the Gauteng legislature. We met with the key stakeholders, our key stakeholders in this petition, which was the Gauteng Cooperative, the Office of the Premier, as well as the Merafong, as well as the petitioner and their associates. Honorable Mayor, I've noted your message. We know that message. I was just giving a bit of background in terms of where we are, where we come from, to show this committee has given its utmost attention to this petition. Without further waste of time, we are supposed to get 3 progress reports today. The first report is from the Office of the Premier, an update. We need also to go through with Gauteng Cooperative as well as the Merafong Municipality. Honorable members, I'll just take guidance from you, those in terms of chronological approach. And Mr. McKinsey, you must just help me here. Do we have a representative from the Office of the Premier?
Yes, Chair, we do.
Thank you very much. And then I wanted to find out, we also have the Cooperative Gauteng, the MEC,
Yes.
and the HOD.
Yes, we do, Chair.
Thank you very much. And then we also have the mayor, and I'm assuming also the team from the management of the Merafong Municipality.
Correct. We do, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I'm going to propose that we allow first the Office of the Premier. Remember when we're at the Gauteng legislature, we resolved as a committee that, you know, there are issues that were emanating from the Gauteng bill, and particularly from the municipality, in terms of issues that were of a serious nature. And we agreed that there must be an investigation from the Office of the Premier. If members will remember when we met in Gauteng. And I would appreciate that we also get that feedback. From that, we also agreed with the MEC Mamabolo and his team that they will intervene in the Merafong issue, particularly when we're looking at issues of disaster and how to rehabilitate and address the concerns of the residents of Khutsong and the greater Merafong municipality. We also resolved at that meeting with the municipality that there are some items that the municipality must take accountability for, and they must give us that progress report today. I'm going to allow the Office of the Premier first, as I've just indicated what were the issues that you wanted. With the indulgence of you, honorable members, I'm going to allow the Office of the Premier to go. I don't see any hands. And then what we'll do from what's coming from the OTP, we'll then go to Gauteng, Cooperative, led by the MEC Mamabolo and the HOD there, and then we'll have the municipality. I see the Honorable of Kaya. Over to you, Kaya.
Thank you very much, Chair. Before you continue, sorry, I'm
Okay,
trying to
who
raise
is
my
it?
hand. I cannot.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay, just hold. Kaya, I'm not sure is it a set. I'm gonna give over to Honorable Pala, who's a committee member. Then I'm gonna come to you, Kaya. Over to you, Honorable Pala.
Thank you, Chair, and thanks for allowing me. I'm struggling to raise my hand here. Can I see there are some people here, the numbers which are not properly registered? Can you people identify themselves so that we know who's here? And I see the numbers at the participant, Chair.
All right. No, thank you very much, Honorable Pala. I think it's very progressive. That point is sustained. It is going to be prudent because we're on the virtual platform to identify ourselves. My name is Ofenza Jeremiah Mokai. You would see that my name is on the screen. And indeed, I'm seeing participants, but you don't see the name. It's only a number. So those individuals or participants, please just try to rename your profile so we know who's joining us. But as I was guided by our secretary, he did confirm those 3 key stakeholders are on the platform. Please identify yourself. We must know who is with us. It is a meeting of the Committee of Parliament. These meetings are open to the public. In actual fact, this meeting is broadcast on the parliamentary channels. So it is not a secret, but it is going to help us to know who is with us in this meeting. So those individuals, please look on your screen and fix the naming of your profile. Kaya, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I am Police Eric Kaya, Special Advisor to the Premier. I wanted to plead with the Chairperson and the committee members that the first report should be coming from Cooperative, and I will have to speak at the tail end, not at the beginning. Please, I'm really pleading with the committee.
Noted, Mr. Kaya. In actual fact, your input is very critical. It is a standing item that we need honorable members to accept that. There's a proposal from Mr. Kaya from OTP Gauteng that they come at the tail end of the presentation. Honorable Mananiso?
Thank you very
Chairperson.
much, Chair.
In order.
In order,
want
it's
to-
fine. All right, no, it's fine. If there are no objections, we will proceed in that manner. So I'm going to put Honorable Mr. Kaya at the end of the inputs. Then I'm going to give over to Cooperative Gauteng. Ms. Mamabolo, I'm going to start with you. Then you will guide your team in terms of your inputs for today. Progress report regarding the Merafong issues, particularly with the potholes, the singles in Khutsong. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Yes, Chair. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Good morning.
MEC Mamabolo. Just 2 points quickly. One is to appreciate the meeting, and of course,
Honorable MEC, my apologies. We have a tradition normally which we do in the committees to see the face. With the rise of AI and all these things and robotics, if it's possible, just the video for a few seconds, then you can switch off your video. I know sometimes we struggle with bandwidth with the videos on, but we will appreciate just to see your face with your indulgence. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Chair, let me sort out that. I do have a challenge of the bandwidth on my side. I've got a challenge of the device I'm using, but I'm working on it. I'll show my face just now.
Not a problem. You can proceed. Thank you for that.
Yeah, what I was just saying, Chair, is that I think let's clarify a matter of principle there. The report that we are going to be doing, I think you'll be able to take care of the matters that the Premier's office probably later to add on, but we are the line function department, so there is some of the issues we will talk in our presentation. The second point is that I guess the municipality will also pick up on some of the issues, but we have worked together with the municipality. We've had a full bilateral meeting of the province and the mayoral committee. Those issues will be spoken to. At this point, let me ask the accounting officer of Cooperative in the province, Dr. Darion Bartley, to take us through the presentation, and I'll come back if it becomes necessary, but I'm quite sure that our report should be able to assist the committee to understand where we are. So with your permission, Chair, allow me to ask the accounting officer to take you through the provincial report.
Permission granted on MEC.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. Good morning to the MEC, all the honorable members on the call, and all the colleagues. Honorable Chair, my name is Darion Barclay. I am the HOD of Cooperative. I'm going to ask that the team are loading the presentation. Chair, I can just say that you will see that we have one integrated presentation. The report from the Office of the Premier and the report from Merafong is...
Just hold on. Our apologies, Mr. Barclay. Dr. Barclay. Honorable Mananiso.
Yes, for procedure as well, can he switch on the video, then he will switch off if he has issues for recording purposes.
No, permission. Point sustained, Honorable Mananiso. Colleagues, we need to very, and I did say earlier on that we need to see, this issue of robotics. Members would appreciate that we see with who we are speaking with. It's not a recording or a record. HOD, if you can just put your camera just for a few seconds and then you can just switch off as you do the presentation.
Okay, Chair, my camera is on. I hope it is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Of course, I have switched it on. So, Chair, thank you very much. And for the benefit of the signal, Chair, I'm going to switch off the camera. And thank you very much to the honorable members. Chairperson, as I indicated at the start, this presentation is an integrated presentation. We can, as the committee, allow Mr. Kahia and the executive mayor and the MM to provide inputs towards the end, but this presentation has been compiled with them. They are all part of the steering committee, the multi-sectoral approach that we have implemented as the provincial government. So we have decided to prepare one report, Chair, and this is the report that will be tabled. Chair, I want to start off by saying that on the next slide, we will be focusing on primarily on the progress report on the single measures, and we will also focus on the work that has been done. There is some areas where the Office of the Premier were required to do some work. The report are inclusive of those, Chair, and there's also work that the Merafong Municipality was supposed to do. That report of the Merafong Municipality is included in this report. Chair, on the background, I think it's common cause on the next slide to state that we know the work that the Council of Geoscience that have done in terms of Khutsong. We also know the petition that was submitted by Mr. Jerry Ramokateri in relation to the drastically deteriorated area of Khutsong. And subject to that, we also had our initial engagements with the Select Committee, and there were a few recommendations made by the Select Committee. Chair, just for the benefit of all members in the meeting, as we had various iterations of this report, when the petition was submitted by Mr. Ramokateri, he in particular focused on a few areas. He said that Merafong City, in particularly the Khutsong Township, is still engulfed in unbarricaded sinkholes. He then further indicated that the Merafong Dolomite Risk and Vulnerability Community Group, that they are now calling themselves, I have written letters to the National Department asking to declare Khutsong as a disaster area. They have also indicated that in certain areas, some of the officials are not observing human rights issues and they don't listen to the concerns of communities. The issue relating to displaced families is pronounced by the Premier that we will relocate them. The issue of stakeholder engagement by the municipality, psychosocial support, and then there was one area, Chair, that deals with the issue of legal recourses to families, particularly those who felt that the integrity of the houses were affected by the earthworks. And some of the families that were affected by sinkholes, we needed to prioritize those areas that's in the red zone, particularly those in Sompani Road. And there was also just a complaint on some of the contractors. Just in general, Chair, we thought it was important that we just share and reaffirm with the committee. That's what the petition is all about. And our report will address all that particular area. So, Chair, I'm going to proceed now to the implementation plan. And when the Premier made the pronouncement on the establishment of a provincial disaster management center, COCTA then continues since that time to lead the multi-sectoral approach, and we are convening on a 2-weekly basis. And Chair, as this report is an integrated report, both the Office of the Premier, COCTA, and all the provincial departments with the Merafong Municipality forms part of this approach. And our key focus areas, Chair, is we were looking at quick wins at the time when we started off, but we are now at a phase where we are looking at some of the longer term areas of focus and also what needs to be done. Chair, this slide, I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on some of the areas that we have made progress on. Chair, on the report on the damage of infrastructure, there is 2 focused areas there. You're talking about the long-term part, but you're also talking about some of the work that we have done. There were difficulties with the Khutsong residents getting access to Merafong due to a collapsed culvert at one of the provincial roads, which has been fixed. And also we have directed the Department of Roads and Transport, which we are doing regular inspections on, to continue with routine road maintenance at the R500, Rapadi Street, and then also some of the other areas that we have known. And our internal department, the Department of Infrastructure Development, they have completed the dolomite investigation process at the Relebohile School, and some of the sinkholes has been successfully backfilled, particularly the ones in Sompani and Pabang Road. But there is much more work to be done, Chair, and this work is much bigger than just the municipality and just the provincial department. And it's for that reason that you will see some of the additional work that we have done later in the report. Chair, the relocation area, apart from the people that's in the red zone, which we have identified as 47, as we sit now, we have moved 39 of those households already. Chair, it required some extensive community engagement by the Merafong local municipality, led by the executive mayor, which has been done, the various ward committees that were activated, and the various awareness that has been created. But community engagement and facilitation is still underway, but the housing development process, building more houses, that project is also underway, and we are regularly inspecting the progress in that particular area. Chair, our Department of Health and our Department of Social Development have paid significant attention to providing some mobile clinics in strategic areas with about 14,000 patients that were treated. There were also some training provided to some of the community members, and due to the nature of the disasters in the area, Chair, we have relocated specific operation ambulances in the area so that they can respond to any of the disasters if there is a challenge. And there's also specialized rescue services that are on standby in the event of any disaster whilst we are doing the work. And in terms of psychosocial support, which was a key area raised in the petition, over 6,700 people were assisted with psychosocial support. Some of the poor families, we have also provided them with food parcels. Chair, whilst the issue of crime was not raised, the issue of crime was raised with the Premier in the community engagement that we had, and we have deployed over 1,700 officers in the hotspot areas, various vehicles, and a number of people has also been arrested, and law enforcement has been accelerated. But of course, Chair, we know how it works. We need to be continuous when it comes to our law enforcement efforts. So this is also a key part of our work. Chair, we must also say that the Merafong municipality have started to progressively work on their waste management, which was a good thing for us because we have started to clean all the old illegal dumping sites, and we are cleaning those regularly, and the situation are improving. It's just a question of we all need to ensure sustainability, and our Department of Agriculture and Rural Development plays a key part in those, particularly when it comes to support to community households and also the planting of trees, but also make sure that we deal with issues of water resource management. Chair, one area that we believe also as the provincial government we need to do a little bit more on is the revitalization of the local economy. Whilst we had some community activation processes led by the Internal Department of Community Development with Merafong, we felt that the SMME strained 119 and the SMME forum that was established is a good start, but we need to do more because unemployment in the area is quite high. Chair, the long outstanding Kokosi Library has now been opened. We are finalizing some of the other projects, particularly the multi-purpose sports facility at Wedella Primary School. But due to the current resources that has been stretched, some of those has been delayed. But Chair, from that perspective, we can say that the work is well underway. Chair, on the next slide, it was important to share with the team that the public-private partnership with Sibanye is now well underway. We have special project teams meetings with them, and they have undertook as part of their expertise that they're bringing on board, that they will refill and rehabilitate 3 of the sinkholes. And we are working on identifying the most critical ones. We believe, Chair, that that's a process, hopefully in the next 1 month, 2 months, the latest. we should see some significant inroads in that. Chair, of course, their work and being a mining company in the area, they will assist with rehabilitation, community engagement, sustainability, but they'll also utilize their support and their technical expertise on the monitoring and evaluation. And once we have the full steering committee established as part of the special project, they will form an integral part of the challenge. Chair, on the next slide, it was important to note that, Chair, the classification of a provincial disaster was a key part of the petition. Members were quite outspoken in the last meeting that should be fast-tracked. We engaged with the National DCOC on the 10th of June and 24th of September. After the picture of Merafong has been painted, they have agreed that we need to establish a special project, and the classification as a provincial disaster has now been published in the Gazette on the 4th of August. So we must say, Chair, that is now paving the way for us to have the special project, but also pave the way to bring all national departments on board so that they can render some services. And as we have brought them on board, Chair, we have started the process where we issued formal letters of appointment. That steering committee will be chaired by the HED of COCTA and the National DG of Cooperative Governance, because they are the custodians of the National Disaster Management Center, and they are the custodians of the grant funding. You can only get access to the additional grant funding through that process anyway. Chair, on the next slide, we are highlighting some of the work currently underway. To inform the steering committee, the terms of reference has been compiled. The DG also felt that we need to establish an implementation protocol and a clear work plan, because with the implementation protocol, but without a work plan, it means departments do not have clear responsibilities. And key departments such as National COCTA, Water and Sanitation, your Municipal Infrastructure Support Agency, but then also the Gauteng Financing Infrastructure Agency, where their capacity and support on project management will really assist bringing the much needed expertise that is needed. Chair, the departmental work plans, at this point, Chair, you will see each of the departments have clear work plans, and all the work plans has been aligned to some of the work that is currently been doing. We know that areas of bulk infrastructure is really a big area, Chair. In the area, you are having a lot of non-revenue water, which means it's water losses, and sorting out the wet services in your bulk infrastructure forms a key part of the work that we are doing. And the National Department of Human Settlements is on board when it comes to the relocation of the households. And Chair, the oversight support is done by COCTA with the support of the municipality, and also the funding that we are sourcing by bringing all the people on board. Chair, the unique situation in Merafong requires the review of the housing policy, and that is a national directive, but we are working with national to see to what extent are we able to ring fence or make a few changes to accommodate the people in Merafong, but it is a function of national government. Chair, we were also at pains with the Merafong municipality to further activate community engagements which they have done. We were also at pains to further engage with the interest groups that is in Merafong. We do not want to be seen to be turning a blind eye on the areas that they are raising with us. And in my communication with the complainant, we have started now to have further engagements. We normally had ad hoc engagements where we invite them, we even have site visits with them, but I think it's also a process, Chair, that we may want to institutionalize that engagements, because the complaints are ongoing and the emails are ongoing, and we also see that they are also involving the minister. So it's important that the work that we are doing as the three spheres of government, we probably need to just bring them further on board to explain to them what is the process, because some areas, Chair, is longer term, like your bulk water services infrastructure, your wet services, some of the infrastructure delivery areas, but we need to bring them on board and also share that with them. Chair, in terms of the next few slides on the funding, we are working on the funding with national, because they are the custodians of grant funding, and hopefully the additional funding that we will receive will add value. And Chair, we have also looked at, should we get the additional funding, looking at the capacity in Kokta, looking at the capacity in the municipality. We also bring on board the Gauteng Infrastructure Financing Agency, and we've also brought on board MISA from National Kokta to also assist where there is a need for us to leverage on those additional expertise. And Chair, all the other work in relation to health services on the next slide, waste management, management of crime, psychosocial support, those are continuing. The Department of E-Government is looking at installing free Wi-Fi in some of our public facilities, but also the hotspot areas that are prone to crime, to look at CCTV equipment. And as part of the multipurpose center at Wedella, we will also make sure that the restoration of recreational facilities also takes center stage whilst some of the other work is underway. Chair, on the next slide as well, we're just clearly outlining the work of the other departments. I have explained the work on the local economy that requires a bit more attention. I've also explained the work that we are doing in terms of project management. In terms of disaster preparedness, Chair, the Western District Municipality is fully on board. Their emergency services are on standby, and we are also strengthening that part. In terms of the rehabilitation of sinkholes, Merafong have set aside a budget, Chair, that is both for infrastructure development, that's for roads, but then also for the rehabilitation of sinkholes. But with the number of sinkholes that needs to be rehabilitated, that funding is hardly sufficient, Chair. Hence, they have knocked on our doors to further support them. And this initiative is aimed at supporting them in all of that. But at least, Chair, we are at a stage now where some of the budgets has been made available, and we are also relying on a national support. Chair, the work here on decent housing is also well underway. Apart from the people in the red zone, other people are also being reallocated or relocated to the new housing development. But Chair, I must honestly say, Chair, we were experiencing a lot of challenges with the community moving, despite the various community engagements that we have undertaken. And the mere fact is, Chair, the community have asked for bigger houses, because if they are in a 4-bedroom, they would want a 4-bedroom house. Chair, we had engagements at national level. Former MEC in Human Settlements, MEC Mahile, took the matter to MINMAC, but at national, they were clear that the housing code provide for a like-for-like, which means if there's houses built, it's RDP houses built, and the people needs to be moved in there. So we were really trying to see how we can accommodate them, but part of the work is also to see, shouldn't we review the housing code as directed through the national process? And Chair, we also believe that the Petitions Committee can play a key role at national level, engaging with the Department of Human Settlements from that perspective as well. Chair, I want to just go on to the progress on the NCOP resolutions. There were in essence 6 resolutions that was taken by the NCOP, and I want to give progress on each of the resolutions. Starting with resolution 1 on the next slide. Chair, there was a request for reports that we need to share, specifically on the realization of transformers and the work that we are doing in the area. Chair, we can safely say that Merafong has been a recipient of transformers and smart meters and high-mast lights as part of our energy program. And Merafong now, as part of the work that we are doing, now that the provincial disaster was now classified, Chair, it gives us that opportunity to leverage on the national grants, and the multi-sectoral relief programs will then just be accelerated. And Chair, as we start with the next phase of the rollout of our energy campaign, there will of course be included as well. Our assessment indicates that our local municipalities, particularly Mfuleni and Merafong, is one of the areas that needs to be the biggest recipients of that. Chair, on the next slide, and I think we should start on slide 22 now, where we have the resolutions. We are just saying, Chair, that each organ of state are preparing their progress reports. We just need to finalize the timeframes. We're still not happy with the timeframes, but we also understand, Chair, that budget needs to be finalized. We need to make funding available. And we now start the process of the budget adjustment. So in cases where departments did not have funding, they must make sure that we allocate funds through the budget adjustment process. And as part of the implementation plan, Chair, the technical task team do comprise of a lot of experts, and we are now talking not only government, but we also talk about the private sector as well and how they will deal with us. Chair, the implementation protocol on the next slide. Once the implementation protocol is signed off, we can now further go into a lot of detail, but the implementation protocol would mean nothing without a work plan. And I have just shared with you what's contained in the work plan. I just think that we need to finalize the timeframes. Chair, the MEC has also directed that we need to convene an urgent roundtable with the community and key experts on sinkholes, and that is scheduled for this coming Thursday on the 9th of October. That will allow us to look at our provincial dolomite strategy, but then also focus on the early warning system for disaster management. And Chair, that will also assist us. Whilst we know that we are working closely with the South African Weather Services, we have other early warning systems, but you need to have those early warning systems working with the Council of Geoscience, working with the CSIR on those, particularly academic institutes as well. But Chair, also key to us, whilst we have accelerated community participation, it's also an area that we see the ward councillors and the communities working with the municipality. That work has also been accelerated. So it's an area, whilst we feel that we have done a lot more than the last time in this area, Chair, you always measure that against the number of complaints through the hotline and the number of complaints and letters we received. And it just means that we should further up our game when it comes to that. Chair, on resolution 2 on the next slide, there is a requirement that Merafong should provide a report. We can safely say, Chair, that Merafong is providing the reports to the engagement that we have with them. They have a similar roadmap to deal with areas that has been raised. And once we receive the various concurrence from the select committee on this, we will finalize the updated report. But as per the last iteration, a full report has been submitted. And as COCTA, we do work with the municipality on those, Chair. So on that point, we fairly covered. Chair, on resolution 3, the informal settlement is taking priority, particularly those on the northern and eastern boundaries. Whilst the people in the red zone is priority, the municipalities' informal settlements also take priority in this particular area. And the Housing Development Agency, as the implementing agent, they do work with our Provincial Department of Human Settlements to ensure that the resettlement program is fully implemented. And it's also aligned to the Dolomite assessment findings, Chair, because where we know that's an area that's in the red zone, that's a big risk for us, we need to relocate those areas. Chair, the one thing on resolution 4 that the committee was at pains at in the last meeting, the committee felt that despite the assessment conducted by COCTA, based on the information provided by the municipality, the forensic investigation unit has been activated and the reports are currently with them for investigation. They will provide regular progress reports, but the process is underway in terms of the investigation. So in terms of resolution 5, where we needed to look at whether the matter can be regarded as a disaster, I have reported earlier that the classification of the provincial disaster in terms of the Disaster Management Act has been finalized, and the steering committee will now bring together also national resources, which was a key part that was missing from the previous intervention report. Chair, on resolution 6 from the select committee, there was also the Office of the Premier's undertakings, but the Office of the Premier has established the centralized dashboard that we are working on. All the service delivery complaints are reported on there, and the Office of the Premier provides us with weekly reports, because all departments deposit their reports into the dashboard, and we take a consolidated report every second week from them. So the Office of the Premier have provided that, and they have fulfilled their end of the bargain. And Chair, we can safely say, Chair, that there's still a lot of work to be done. The issue of infrastructure delivery and bulk water services is an area that requires more attention. Once we have finalized the timeframes, Chair, we can urge the committee to convene us again so that we can give clear outline of some of the key plans, particularly when it comes to the restoration of our wet services, bulk infrastructure in the area. Chair, and as part of our recommendations, we request that the Select Committee notes the presentation, but they also notes the progress and the work plan so far, the establishment of a special project, and that we have now classified the area as part of the Provincial Disaster Management Act. Chair, I will ask to stop there, and we can allow the Office of the Premier and Merafong to provide any additional inputs in the MEC, and we can take questions afterwards. MEC and Chair, thank you very much. I will stop there.
Thank you, HOD. MEC, just members should know that there was an input that was made right in the beginning from the HOD that there's an integrated report, but we will also allow the other stakeholders to then make their input. MEC, I'm going to give over to you, then we'll do the OTP and the municipality. I mean the municipality and the OTP. MEC Mamabolo. Is the MEC still with us?
Yeah, no, I'm here. No, I'm covered here. Let's wait for the members to raise the issues, then I'll come back. I think the HOD has done an excellent job. Let's hear, and of course, the stakeholders, yeah.
No. Thank you very much, MEC, and thank you for showing us that you are the real MEC behind the name there. Members, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand over to the Merafong Municipality. As the HOD was saying, there's an integrated report. It emanates from the key three stakeholders. But if there are any additional items or additional information that they would like to make, we give you the opportunity as the municipality. A municipality, I think the Major is with us. Major, I'm going to hand over to you. If there anything that you feel you want to put extra to what is being tabled, we'll really appreciate that.
Good morning, Chair. I'm not sure if my face is appearing on the screen. Good
Bright
morning,
and clear.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair, and the committee members. Indeed, Chair, both the COCTA, the Premier's office, and the municipality worked on the progress report. And I just want to confirm that everything was covered by the HOD. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Majora. We're going to proceed to Mr. Kaya. Kaya.
This is appearing because I don't see it.
You are appearing. We can see you and you are audible.
Thank you.
Can you proceed?
Thank you. As indicated, it's a consolidated report. There are some issues that I think are very critical, which we might really need even moving forward for the committee, but particularly in Parliament to assist us with. We have a responsibility of cooperating and collaborating with national departments as a typical example, but sometimes the decision-making process and also the reasons for certain decisions can be kind of problematic for us. For instance, when we first made the application for a classification of of a disaster, whether it is provincial or local, the national actually refused to accept that. COGTA and the Disaster Management Center nationally. And it became even worse for us when the person who made that application as a provincial disaster head was appointed by national. The person makes the application here with good reasons, goes to national, and then refuses to classify it as a disaster, despite the fact that the actual applicant was him. That for us was a bit worrisome. The second issue is because it takes so long to take decisions, problems actually grow. When you ultimately take the right decision, the problems are even much bigger than your original application. Because when you do that application, you must also speak of the resourcing aspect. So that resourcing aspect, when that decision is taken at the tail end, it's no longer even 50% of your original budget. So I think that is one issue that I think we should be seriously looking into. The second issue is that Merafong, in particular, Gauteng basically is a sinkhole on its own. If you look at our roads now, whether you are in Boksburg, whether it's R21, you know, in Tshwane, we have so many sinkholes, and the worst one would be Merafong. I suspect Gauteng province alone will not be in a position to properly focus on the sinkhole problem in Gauteng. National departments should come on board so that we quickly identify which areas must never be touched for instance, for habitation, so that we are very clear about that. The third issue that I wanted to also to talk to would be housing policies. Our policies are very rigid. For instance, if we say our housing policy is so many square meters for people who are trying to get housing, we don't factor in things like this particular disaster. Those people were bought houses, some are bond houses, and they did not place themselves there in that sinkhole infested area. And now they must go back to an RDP house because our policy says so. We are not even factoring different conditions for the application of these policies. It's something that we really need to have so that we are not the only ones who are being attacked for policies which we have not come up with. So I'm really pleading that we should also be looking at that particular aspect. The roles of our national departments. In our case, where we have responsibility, we even act outside of our mandates when the challenge is too big. But it becomes very difficult when you go to authorities at a different sphere and you are just told about a policy which is actually not dealing with the actual problems. And the other issue that I think we should be looking at is as a typical example, bulk water related issues. There are areas in Gauteng, as much as we can generally believe that Gauteng is a rich province, but I should indicate that there are serious pockets of extreme poverty, Merafong being one of the cases. And unfortunately, it should be a very rich area. If you compare Merafong versus the one in Northwest, that major mine, the people in Northwest are benefiting from the mining operations, but people in Merafong are burdened extensively by the mining industry. And the people in Merafong, instead of focusing on that, they attack the municipality. You know, we are even dealing now with water-related issues where there's a classification of a mine, which is even less than a farm. We don't have authority over these mines. National has got authority, but nobody's coming to the party using that authority to ensure that the mines in Merafong and in the Western area actually benefit the people of that territory. So these are issues that I thought we should actually also place on the table so that you use your own authority just to punch some holes in some of these issues where we do not have authority. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Advisor to the Premier. We really appreciate your inputs. Honorable members, those are the inputs and the report from Gauteng. I will now just say the report on the Gauteng petition. From my side, just as we are still on it, Mr. Kaya, and I was hoping that you'll also touch the issue from Resolution 4, which deals with the investigation in terms of those projects. We will remember, members, that item came very strongly from the petition and to some of the community members. So whilst you're all still in, I want us to get that reflection in terms of to expatiate on the investigation in the office of the Premier, in the forensic investigative unit. I would really appreciate that you can follow. I was hoping you'll come. I was listening patiently, hoping you'd come to it. Members, I'm noting your hands. I'm noting Honorable Billy. I've noted Honorable Mananiso. Those will be the two. And Honorable Midupi, I'm also noting you. So please, Mr. Kaya, prepare that response for me. I'm not going to give you now. I'm going to allow members also to chip in there. The other thing that I'm just glad to see, there's a progress, members, in terms of how we are moving. I'm glad to see the classification of the disaster from Gauteng. I mean, that will be my input. And then obviously and how it's going to assist in unlocking resources to address those things. I will reserve some of my comments for now, and then I'm going to give the honorable members to chip in and make their inputs and ask questions. I'm going to start with Honorable Billy. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to yourself and greetings to all the honorable members who are here and the colleagues, the MEC and the Mayor. Not my Chairperson is. I just wanted to check with you. I hear that there is a joint report between the COCTA and the municipality, but on my end, I've gone through separate reports which are not the same in everything. I wanted to see and check with you maybe if it would not be proper to allow the municipality to present its report as it is submitted to us, because as far as I can see, there were two separate reports, one from COCTA, one from the municipality, and there are slight inconsistencies in the report. I think it would be procedural and correct to allow the municipality to present its report since there isn't any joint report in front of us. That is my request, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Billy. Noting that, I just wanted to also come into that point. My understanding is that because of the bilaterals that have been hosted, as you heard from the HOD, they've incorporated. There were those information that came through. There is a contained in the report from the municipality, but I don't think there's nothing stopping you from raising those issues that you've picked up from the report. We've already agreed that we accept Remember, I opened the floor and I said, members, how do we approach that? And we kind of agreed that let us accept the report. My understanding that those ones that we've received also from the municipality is an additional information. But as I'm saying, there's nothing stopping the member from raising those issues that you pick up from the report. And I think the municipality is still with us here, and they're able to assist us. The mayor is still here with us, and they will be able to assist us. So I'm not sure now, do you want to ask the questions now and highlight those inconsistencies that you pick up? I think that will assist us greatly moving forward. So I'm going to allow you to raise what you want to raise, what you pick up. The municipalities here, we have received their presentation, I think last week as well. So if there's anything that you want to raise, I'm going to allow you to do that. Is it fine with you, Honorable Billy?
Chairperson, I'm fine with that. With your permission, can I just speak next after the next speaker? I'm just sorting my notes out. Just after the next speaker, I'm more than happy to just come in. Thank you.
Not a problem. And then our next member on my list is Honorable Mananiso. Over to you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members from the platform. Let me start by actually indicating that I would want to stand on the established protocol by Honorable Billy. Chair, one would want to say that I really appreciate and acknowledge the progress made till this far. And I think we need to acknowledge the fact that this particular petition has actually assisted us as the committee to even deal with other factors that have been filtered in by presentation made by Cooperative, and as well the remarks made by Untitled. But Chair, one thing that we need to actually reprimand in this session is the fact that most of the presentation, they are detailed and giving a progress report. However, when it comes to time frame, it's a concern. And for us as members who are doing accountability and oversight, it is very problematic because we cannot measure if we are going to progress in terms of the positive outcome with regards to this particular petition. So the only way to do our oversight properly is to get those particular time frames so that we are able to ask, why didn't you achieve on this particular time? We are noting the remarks by the doctor that indeed there's a meeting that needs to be established to sign off. I just want, in terms of implementations protocol, I want to check how soon can that meeting be? Because one feels that that meeting is the one that holds many of the progresses that needs to happen. So that at least we get a fair chance of getting to know that we are actually getting to deal with this matter. So the other issue that one has noted, and I'm really appreciating it as a person who comes from Gauteng and in the West Rand, is the fact that now there's an inclusion of public-private sector. Sibanye is coming on part, and I want to really acknowledge the fact that now this matter of sinkholes has been dealt with as a special project item by the municipality, by Cooperative and the Office of the Premier. So with that being said, one would want to acknowledge the progress made. But again, I want to say to you as well, I'm covered on the issue of investigations, of which I didn't hear anybody touching on it with regards to the presentation. So there's a need that that Khaya give us sense on where are we, because the last time we met, we were told that that matter has been dealt with the forensic testing. So we would want to get to know how far are we with those issues. But again, Chairperson, one would want to say as this team, we need to actually call the Minister of Mineral Resources to just come and give us clarity with regards to the work done with the municipalities and in areas in the mines, so that we are able to get sense, what is it that they are not doing that they are supposed to be doing as the department to ensure that they deal with those issues. So there's a need that in our meeting, we facilitate that particular meeting to get what could be the problem. But as well, noting what Dr. Khaya could have said about this person who was working for the province and now is working in the national, and is the very same person now who's actually delaying or who has not even approved this particular application. We would need to get sense on those area. But lastly, Chair, as well, the presentation of the Merafong, I had a concern that one has noted from their presentation on the letter by the municipal manager. And I just noted to say I needed clarity when a letter says that in a timely manner. For us, it's a problem. We need a specific time frame. We can't be speaking timely manner, and I think it's something that one would want to raise as a concern, that it is not nice for us to be having such language in a government, memo, as if it's a by the way thing. So we need specific time frames by all, but I appreciate the work done till so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Naniso, for those inputs and questions. I'm going to hand over now to Honorable Mudupi. Protocol, Honorable Mudupi, just a quick video on, and then you can switch off if you have any challenges.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. At least I'm not a robot. You are able to see my face and my colleagues. Chair, let me appreciate as well the presentation that is integrated, and that shows the spirit, the team spirit that is prevailing within the Gauteng province. It's something that has been lacking before, and really I want to appreciate to see the collective effort that has been put before us, and to a larger extent, I believe it will take us somewhere, Chairperson. But Chair, my concern has been also raised by Honorable Mananiso with regard to time frame. As much as department is giving us a very good product before us, which is more better than ever before, I should think it will be much better for us to have time frames, especially on the implementation protocols and the plans that are there in place. I have seen in one of the slides that COCTA continues to monitor the action plan by Merafong, which I think it's a very important document that this committee will really love to see such implementation plan. So, Chairperson, the other matter that has been raised by the advisor, Ndate policy, I should think it's something that honestly, as a committee, we have to either summon the department that are relevant to be part of this. And I know with regard to National Disaster Management Center, Chairperson, it has been a problem that has been indicated even in the previous engagement, our previous engagement with Merafong, and it is also now resurfacing again. And it is being said now by the Office of the Premier himself, clearly it's a call to us for an assistance. So I should think as we'll be going back, Lorna, as a committee, we'll have to reflect on that and how best can we call the department, the relevant department together. So as when we speak of an integrated plan, we should not only speak of the two spheres of government, but national must be very clear as to what is the way forward, what is it that is going to happen moving forward, because it's got financial implications. And the fact that it is not clear, we may not be able to deal with the elephant that is in our room. So basically, that's what I wanted to raise, Chairperson. But just in a nutshell, I should think this is a better report than before. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Midupe. We really appreciate that. I've noted Honorable Noe and then Honorable Feriken. Honorable Billy, are you ready with your inputs and questions?
Yes, Chair, I can quickly come in now.
Proceed.
Before I'm denied an opportunity to speak.
No. Order, Honorable Billy.
No. I must agree with the previous speakers, particularly on the issue of the time frames. but also commend that at least it does seem that there is some engagements, ongoing engagements between the municipality and the provincial executive, which is good progress. But again, I think what is most important for us as Parliament is to really see tangible progress being made on the ground beyond the meetings and the engagements. I think that is when we are going to be satisfied as Parliament that things are being implemented, that the resolutions of Parliament are being implemented as it should, and that there are clear timelines, Chairperson. My concern relates. I see that there was a declaration of a disaster somewhere there in August, but at the same time there isn't any clear budget allocation that is accompanied by that. And maybe if Cocta can just comment on that as to why there isn't a clear budget, even though there seems to be a disaster that was declared. And then the other point I want to raise, Chair, is the issue of the investigation. You would recall that in our previous meeting, there were issues around that investigation report. I was hoping that today that will form part of this meeting. I'm not sure what is the challenge in as far as sharing that with this committee or Parliament, because that forms part of what we had requested. And at that time it was said that the investigation was with the Gauteng Forensic Investigations Unit, if I remember correctly. My understanding is that this has been completed and has got to be tabled. Maybe Chairperson, with your guidance, if we can just be made given an understanding why this is not being shared here today. And then the other issue, Chair, again, something that we would want to see happening, seeing that it also forms part of our deliberations, is the resettlement and the housing. I note that there's been 47 households, which have been identified according to Cocta, and 39 have been relocated. However, the municipality indicates that there's 25,000 people who require relocation from the Dolomitic land, and the municipality's report states that there is a small portion that have been relocated to Khutsong Extension 8. This is just one of the inconsistencies, Chair, that I was speaking about, which would have allowed the municipality to make its own presentation, seeing that they are complaining about the access to funding and this point also, which exposes the massive housing crisis which remains unresolved. So, Chair, I think while there is progress being made, I think we must just be honest enough that in as far as our resolutions and the work that we want to see, or the stuff that needs to be happening on the ground, your engineering and rehabilitation work, it's things that can't just be reported vaguely. There's got to be statistics, there's got to be humans attached to the work that the different spheres of government are doing, not just interventions and meetings, because that does put us in a slightly awkward position. Chairperson, if Cocter can just maybe come in there, and maybe you can allow the municipality to just comment on the points that I've raised. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Billy. Noted that. Members, maybe just as a side, I should have done this earlier. I was informed that we've got a new member for our committee, Honorable Mampuru from Gauteng, representing the EFF. I'm not sure he's here. His membership was confirmed, was 80 seat on the 19th of September. I should have just, maybe just it's an oversight from my side. But if he's here, we really welcome Honorable Mampuru as a member of this committee, and feel free to fully participate. Honorable Noah, over to you.
Chair, I am visible.
Yeah, you are visible, loud and clear.
Okay. Let me also align myself with the established protocol. Chair, I've got only 2 questions, but before I ask Chair, I'm not sure whether the request by Honorable Billy that municipalities should be allowed to make their presentation first. Perhaps we might be asking questions and then come back again, or issues that are related to the municipality and which may be contained in their report. Are you not giving a ruling first before we proceed with questions? But because I'm already on the platform, let me ask my question.
Let me just assist you. I did make a submission, Honorable Noah, that they did submit those reports to us, the presentation, but we didn't object that it's an integrated report. But there's nothing stopping members, because they remember the documents are with us, to highlight and to take from the presentation. The municipality is here and they will be responding. So if there is something that you picked up from their presentation issue they want to raise, I'm going to allow members to do that, and then they will respond to that. I hope it assists, Honorable Noah. Over to you.
Okay, Chair. Chair, I just wanted to ask if the DG could elaborate further. I feel there is a need to understand how they are resolving the matter where there is a dispute about the sizes of the house, where he indicated that some members of the community are not happy with the size of the houses. Whether are they building for a community member on the basis of the house that they occupied before, or are they treating them with the same allocating RDP houses only? I think that point is very important to get a full clarity on it. The second question, I might have missed, because I was going to ask whether, as the process continues, the complainant or the petitioner, as a committee, they have been taken on board. But there's somewhere where Mr. Klaya said someone has been elevated to national, and that person seems to be blocking or delaying the process. I'm not sure whether that person was named. If we can get who's that person, I will submit, Chair, that the committee needs to actually engage, get to understand what is the problem, that the person might be now being a stumbling block to this process. And I will end by also appreciating, Chair, the work and the effort that one is picking up on this reports that indeed we are heading somewhere. And I want to thank the department and the municipality for all the energy they put behind this problem to resolve it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Noe, for those inputs. I've noted Honorable Pala as well, but I'm going to give the opportunity now to Honorable Gerrit.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm going to seek your indulgence not to show my picture, as I have challenges with connection here where I am at the moment, Chairperson, if that's in order with you.
You can proceed. We grant you the opportunity.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, just a couple of issues. Let me first and foremost commend the HOD for a very comprehensive and informed report. A person can clearly see that he and his team, they've applied their minds this time on this very issue, the crisis. Secondly, Chairperson, we must go back to the first meeting we had in Gauteng, or there in Carltonville at the time, where the provincial officials took a very strong stance against the municipality with regard to the funds that have been allocated, and that at that same meeting, nobody could account for those funds for the rehabilitation of those singles. Now, having said that, it creates an urgency to produce the forensic report so that we understand what has happened to the funds. And this is a very important point, because this issue cannot be swept under the carpet. We must understand. I don't know if you can clearly. I can clearly recall how the officials of Cooperative that day took a serious stance, strong stance, against what the municipality has said, and the municipality could not account. That's the first point. The second point is, and I don't want to waste a lot of time on this, but we must understand the timelines, because it's fine to come up with a whole lot of reports, but we need to understand implementation dates. If we don't have implementation dates, we actually have nothing to tell the communities. That is the problem here. And then we must also understand, if this area has now been declared a disaster area, it means that it will enjoy privilege in terms of the budgetary system, or the budgetary allocations. So we must understand, we cannot come here and say that we have budget constraints and we don't have the funds and so on. If it's declared a disaster area, then it's automatic, together with this, that there must be a budget priority to implement the work. Then thirdly, Chairperson, I say this respectfully, you can rule me out of order, but I think the municipality must lay low here, because they had the opportunity to do the work and they did nothing to this. Even that day, the mayor did not even know what was happening there. They must lay low so that the people that are informed take the lead, take over the project, and so that the issue can be resolved. This will be my input, Chairperson. I will make a strong point about the implementation dates. We cannot have excuses. We must set a date here. I propose that we set a date whereby we are informed as a committee about the implementation dates and when the real rehabilitation will then commence. And then just to latch on to Honorable Noe, the issue of the size of the houses. We must understand, colleagues, if people had a certain size of a house and you put them now in a smaller size of a house, it's going to cause an uproar, an upstir, and riots even in the community. So we must apply our minds there. We cannot preside over a situation, Chairperson, where we further impoverish the community or even rob them, to use that strong word, of what they had versus vis-a-vis what they will now receive. We must have agreement on that. And then lastly, I want to say, let us not always hide behind the issue of budget. We must prioritize. There's a need, this is a crisis, this is a disaster in Carletonville, and we must address it as soon as possible. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Gerike, thank you very much for your inputs. I'm not going to recognize Honorable Pala.
Thank you, Chair. Let me as well stand on the protocol established, and say really the report is very much comprehensive, as honourable members have indicated, and the implementation part of it really is encouraging, is positive. When you look at the items which are classified there under the implementation, the repair, damage, and infrastructure, the repair, damage, infrastructure, the relocation, health, all under those sub items is an indication that the department, both the province and the municipality, are working together. Now they are giving us this positive report, Chair. But the HOD in his remarks indicated that the complaints are still ongoing. The emails are still coming, meaning that the emails of the complaints from the communities are coming. And he also said the implementation protocol hasn't been signed. I need more elaboration on that part. Who are the key stakeholders in the protocol, and when? In fact, I would say what is the implication of the protocol which hasn't been signed to what the HOT has presented on those implementation plans? The other part which really I'm concerned about is what Mr. Kaya from Premier's office said here as well, which is giving us another side of the story. I would request, Chair, that Mr. Kaya give us this in writing, so that we should be able to deal with all what he said here, which is very important. For instance, he says the housing policies are rigid, meaning that if the housing policies are rigid, on the item which on the implementation plan which the HOT has indicated, then it means that there is a problem. So there's the contradiction between what the presenters have indicated here. The issue of the bulk water, which is Mr. Gwaya says it is at the national level, is also a concern to me, and I'll need all what is indicated in writing. And the last one, which is that they don't have the authority over the mines, and mines are the cost of the problem there. And now, if they don't have authority over the mines, what is it which need to be done? Because we can't just leave it. Something needs to be done. So those are the issues, Chair, which I want members or officials to respond to. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pala, for that information, for your inputs. Honorable members, thank you very much for your participation in raising those gray areas and key areas that you feel they must still be addressed. The HOD, the issue of timeframes came very strongly from members, and I'm sure you've noted it. Members want to get specifics. I understand that it's a big project. It's a big challenge, and sometimes it hampered from the relevant stakeholders. But members are very concerned with the issues of time frames. We need to be specific. We need to be clear when we're dealing with time frames. I think that one you will have to give a input there. The other issue is that I'm not happy with the ongoing. When you report, remember we've tasked you to do a responsibility. You need to come back and report. And sometimes what you see on a paper and what's happening on the ground, most times you don't speak to each other. I would have loved the HOD to say, committee members and chair, on this day we met with community members and we dealt with these issues. On this day we dealt with committee members in terms of moving. On this day at this hall, just to give us that bit of comfort. I understand it's an ongoing process, but you are now reporting to the committee, and it will bring comfort to us, to me as well as the chair, to know that on this day a meeting was held. We might not see the attendance register, we might not see the paper, but we take what we give the committee, because you are speaking under oath to Parliament. So that's the issue that I wanted to speak on. Members, you've raised a lot of issues in terms of the forensic, the report. There, you'll have to come in. Mr. Kaya also spoke about it. It's going to be helpful to assist us and also to give clarity in terms of the members who were giving information to you. The other thing that I wanted us to do, as we're going to be drawing close to this petition, because members, you'll realize that we've received a number of petitions that we are dealing with, which is separate now to this meeting, that it will also assist us to do a follow-up local inspection. You noted that in the presentation from Dr. Darian was that some of the portals has been backfilled. And as part of progress, it is also assisting to be able to see for ourselves physically. And I think when I'm going to convene another meeting of us as a committee, and when we reflect on this, we'll have to map a way forward in terms of revisiting Khutsong, as we are going to be closing this petition. Remember, we've received the petition; it has to come to a close, but not rushing the process, making sure we do a thorough work. So those will be my inputs and trying to summarize what members put forward. And with that, I'm going to hand back over to the HOD, the MEC, the mayor. The issue that members have raised, and they would want you to come in there with your team. Over to you, MEC will just guide the process, but I think I'm going to hand over to the HOD because there are specific issues that came from the committee members.
Chair, thank you very much. And let me also thank all the members for the inputs, Chair, and the contributions. Chair, let me safely say, through our own assessment as COPTA, we believe that we need to add a bit more when it comes to timeframes. And Chair, I can undertake in this meeting that by the time we get to the next meeting, we should have a proper timeframe, even when it comes to bulk services. How much money are we earmarking for that, and when will what be done? So even with our current work plan, Chair, we wanted to demonstrate to the select committee that extensive work is done. We are quite clear on what we need to achieve, but the timeframes is clear. Chair, we also take note of your views that you don't like ongoing, and we will ensure that those are then corrected. Chair, the reason why we prepared a consolidated report is because we are working all together, but maybe in the next meeting, Chair, as the municipality have also had a budget set aside, what we will do, we will ring-fence some of their discussions and those particular funding opportunities that's come from the different areas, from grants, from the municipalities, from national, so that it gives a complete picture and it does not look like the municipality do not report. So that we will make sure that the timeframes and the budgets, including the key activities, is clearly outlined. Chair, insofar as the issues relating to the housing are concerned, when we started off, Chair, the plan was that let's try and how we can accommodate those particular community members that has a bigger house than the square meterage of a RDP house. And as Gauteng, the Department of Human Settlements, they do not have that mandate to do that. If you want to deviate from policy, you write to national. And the National Department of Human Settlements is the custodian of the Housing Development Code, needs to do that. And it was then categorically said to us that that's going to be a problem, they can't do it. So it's for that reason that we are putting it forward to the committee to ask that we also get some support from the committee, and also clearly outlined by advisor Kaya. So that's insofar as the housing are concerned. Chair, but the issue of the 39 resettled households vis-a-vis the 25,000 reported by the municipality have conducted their overall analysis on the housing development. And whilst the development that's currently underway is much bigger than the 10,000 or so houses, but our focus was on the areas that's in the red zone, as they are classifying that, but other work on the resettlement are still underway. But that detail can also be provided when we report on those, Chair. Chair, now that we have done the classification and approved by national, it means that no department can now say they cannot come on board. No department can say that they do not have funding. They need to refix budgets just like we do during a particular disaster with rainfall and so on. And national, because they're the custodian of the National Disaster Management Center with that particular funding that comes from there, needs to be on board. So all the provincial departments form part of the signing of the implementation protocol. National departments that we have identified is the Department of Water and Sanitation, National Department of Human Settlements, and the Department of Cooperative Governance as the custodian of disaster management. And those are the departments at this stage. We would also appreciate the support on bringing in the Department of Mineral Resources. But Chair, the protocol has been drafted, the terms of reference is done. We can all share that with the select committee. We plan to have it all finalized in the next month, Chair. I'm sure we'll have a discussion in the next week with the national colleagues. In fact, Chair, I can safely say that that meeting was scheduled for Monday. That was yesterday. But because that letters of appointment that was dispatched to all the national departments and provincial departments was issued about 2 weeks ago, it was difficult to confirm all the attendance, and it would have been a futile meeting, because that meeting would have started to discuss the work plan once we have presented the terms of reference for them to understand why they are there. So that's where we are insofar as that is concerned. Chair, insofar as the reports are concerned, we also take note of the members when it comes to the reports on the engineering work and all the other work that needs to be done, clearly outlining, and also the view from the Chair. Once we engage with communities, let's share which interest groups that we have engaged, when these engagements have taken place, so that that can be clearly shared. Chair, as Honorable Pala indicated, in my report, I indicated that yes, emails are still coming. We still receive letters. And what I feel there is, Chair, and I had a discussion with Mr. Ramukotedi this morning and last night. I said to him that the crisis committee and us, it seems that what we see as priority and what they see as priority might not be aligned. And I have indicated to him that maybe, as opposed to the ad hoc meetings that we have with them, because we don't invite them to every second week to the disaster management meetings in Merafong, we invite them when there is further progress and when we want to do site visits. So maybe these engagements with them needs to be institutionalized, and that's what we have shared with them. And it's as a result of those, we hope that there will be less letters and complaints coming through. And Chair, the implementation protocol has no bearing on the work plan if there is a delay in the implementation protocol. The classification of the disaster has been made. The implementation protocol binds all the departments forming part of the steering committee to commit And the minister would also need to report at a national level about this. So they cannot say they do not want to be part. It just binds them formally, but the discussions is continuing. And the very first discussion would take discussion at the center stage on the work of each of the department. And of course, Chair, as you indicated, clear timeframes. Chair, let me talk a little bit about the investigation. The honorable member is correct. That very first meeting that was held where the COCTA officials and the Merafong officials were at odds about this. What I've done then at that point in time, Chair, I convened the MM and myself convened both the parties that need to come together. That's both Merafong and COCTA. We asked for all the assessment of the documentation. We asked for the reports on the service provider, and Merafong provided a detailed set of documentation on the appointment that was part of a panel and so forth. But the continuous letter from the interest group saying that there is maladministration prompted the committee to say that there is a need for us to dig a bit deeper. So after the full analysis that we have done, and I've said that when we were having the concluding engagement with the COCTA Portfolio Committee in the city of Joburg, is that the only thing that we need to do better, Chair, is when we appoint service providers, and we need to ensure that we monitor the different assessments that needs to be done, make sure that there is value for money. But because of also the issues raised by the committee, we have taken all the documentation and shared it with the forensic unit in the Office of the Premier to commission an independent investigation. They are currently at lead assessment process with all the documentation. They've asked for more information, and I guess, Chair, in the next 30 days, we should be in a position to receive a first report, and we can then share with you an update, Chair. We are happy to do that. But Chair, I think we do appreciate the comments from the members that the report is appreciated, but we also take keen interest that we will improve the timeframes, how we move forward. Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, HOD, for those responses. Majoro, inputs from your side, please. There are some issues that were raised directly to you.
Chairperson, just on a point of clarity.
Honorable Gericke.
Yes, I take note what the HOD is saying, and also in terms of the forensic investigation. However, I think it's going to be prudent and correct if the HOD, instead of reporting here orally, if the HOD can forward to the committee at least a status report of where we stand in terms of the investigation, so that we have record of that report. I think it's very important, Chairperson. The final report can then follow in whichever time frame, but let us have a status report in terms of this forensic investigation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Gericke. I note you, Honorable Billy.
Thank you, Chair. I stand to second the comments and the recommendations made by Honorable Gericke. I think it would have been proper to provide this Committee of Parliament with a report on the progress of the investigation. I don't think it must be allowed, Chairperson, for this very important undertaking to be vaguely reported as such. I think you must discourage that, and we've got a huge responsibility as this committee to ensure that there's clear transparency and accountability in everything that is being done here, and that there is proper reports submitted for us to be able to have better sight of what has transpired and what can be done to better rescue the situation. Thank you, Chair.
Noted, Honorable Billy. HOD, those will be the inputs that we need. Please, we request that you assist us in terms of the status regarding those challenges that you were faced. And I think the members are very specific and it's coming out clear. I see the Majora has left the platform. She has just left now the platform. Honorable members, we are now going to have the MEC just to summarize as a political head as department in Gauteng. Honorable Mabolo, over to you. Is the MEC still with us? And while we're still establishing that, I think HOD is going to be also very important, and members, we should be able to indicate the time frame for that interim. I'm going to call it interim report for lack of a better word, specifically regarding to those allegations as raised by Honorable Sherik and Honorable Billy, and also jointly with the procurement issues and the procurement challenges with those service providers as an interim and an update while we await the final report from the investigative unit in OTP. I think maybe just to guide the HOD department in terms of that time frame. Normally, Parliament uses a 7-day period to get that report. Just the status to tell us and to alert to members where we are in terms of that issue. I hope it's clear, HOD.
Clear. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mama Bola, I see you on the platform. Are you able to come in there?
Yes. No, I'm here. I just thought maybe the mayor and the municipal manager were going to make some further detailed inputs. But let me say 3 points, Chair. The first one on the forensic investigation. I think let's send you a written separate update on that, so that we can clarify properly what the issues are. Because I agree that the way we have reported it, it might leave some bit of a difficulty on what exactly are we saying. So I think if it's written in addition to what is written in the report, I think it will read better. So that when we have a follow-up discussion in the next reporting, there's no confusion about what we said today. Because otherwise, the next reporting cycle might create a difficulty in relation to what we are saying today. And I think some of the issues we need to really clarify when we write to you is the principle of which we have always said, the Premier's office conducting and taking the lead on the investigation as per our request, and just then in writing where that process is. So let me not go further on that, because there's a confusion about reports submitted by Merafong, to who and what does that mean? So I think those things we need to clear them. I also get a sense that when the HOD was talking about reports, it could have created an impression that therefore there's a report of the investigation sitting somewhere. So let's write to you, Chair, to clarify these matters. So that's the first point. The second point I wanted to make is indeed the point that was raised very early about timeframes. There are timeframes that will, in the normal course of this type of work, relate to the projects of rehabilitation. When are they going to start? What are the
the implementation plans by the different consulting engineering firms, the construction companies. So I guess those should come. Then there are planning issues about when will the budgets be finalized, so that then we can talk what was referred to as touching the lives of the people. So I guess the fact that the disaster is now being officially accepted paves the way for project-related implementation and timelines. I think those you need, so that will come. And of course, we should then be able to say when is the first meeting of the steering committee, and the steering committee should give a roadmap, including much more detailed work breakdown structure and its attendant timelines. So those type of details should come. So I think on that we agreed. There are also timelines of various departments in the normal course of them doing work in Merafong to support the community and the challenges that are there. So I think this whole issue of timelines, we accept it, Chair. We don't even have to justify or say anything more than agreeing with you. So on that note, Chair, when we do the next reporting, or even because we can still update you without having to wait for a meeting. The nature of this work is such that we can send you a flash report which gives a quick status. So let me ask the accounting officers of the province, Dr. Bartley and the MM of Merafong, that when the steering committee meet with the DG of Cooperative, they should provide a preliminary roadmap with attended timelines, even if some of them are brought in broad terms. But I think from their first meeting, they should give an indicative roadmap of where they are going to. I think we should direct the accounting officers to do that, and I think it's a commitment I'm making, that, and with the mayor, that let's give you those broadly indicative roadmap with the timeline. So that point is my second point. I agree. Then the last point, Chair, is definitely a proper engagement with the stakeholders. And of course, you have correctly intervened that it shouldn't just be the engagements. So that's an improvement in our report, that there should be proper accountability and transparency and openness. You met which stakeholder when. So that we accept as part of the improvement of moving forward. Then we have convened for this Thursday. We did say to you when you were in Gauteng that we do need help from different professionals, institutions, organizations, individuals that have technical knowledge about dolomites, about sinkholes, and how to deal with this issue. So that roundtable meeting is on Thursday. It will help us to have a much more better technical appreciation of the nature of the difficulty we're dealing with. And I think I can assure you, we will give you a report, because we have invited experts to help us understand this issue better, including what are the best practices in other parts of the world where they deal with this type of issues. Where's technology? What are the other better methods, so that we don't say we have rehabilitated a sinkhole and then just right there where it happened, there's another sinkhole happening again. So we need to have, because these are the things that create confusion also about allegations of corruption, when there's a rehabilitation, but actually that rehabilitation was not properly done, because the engineering skills, techniques used, the technology used is not the right one. So this meeting will give you a report about, okay, this is what the experts are saying, this is what the professionals are saying,
on how to deal with this matter, so that we also use government money efficiently. We don't use money same place, close one, rehabilitate one sinkhole 3, 4, 5 times because it reoccur. So the workshop, the roundtable, it's really to map a better way forward and to empower municipalities and the province on better methods of dealing with these issues. So I'm sorry I took long, but I just wanted to say to you, let's welcome the positive feedback. Indeed, Chair, we work with municipalities, we integrate, we coordinate, we work together. That's how we're trying to do our issues. But otherwise, Chair, this type of issues, we are still in very early stages of dealing with them. We welcome the positive feedback, but I think we still have some bit of good work that needs to be done moving forward. And so we are looking forward to the next round of updates and consultation so that we can, in much more concrete terms, say, this is how we have improved the quality of lives of the people, and this is how we've protected the people and improved their areas and their experiences in real practical terms. So on that note, Chair, we will continue to do intergovernmental relations, coordination, and work with everybody. Because as we correctly say, 3 spheres of government working together will be much more better. But also horizontal, vertical, all-round integration is what we are trying to do. It's not easy, but we are trying our best. Let me leave it here, Chair. We're looking forward to the next engagement. But otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mama Bolo. I always appreciate a political head, to summarize and take members in confidence and the committee in terms of the working forward. And I'm glad that you are also showing leadership for this petition in Gauteng from your department side. And I really appreciate your effort to address the challenges as faced by the residents of Merafong. Honorable Zuko, I see you are here, Honorable Zuko Best, Majoro. I don't want to leave you out. I want you also to give you your bite. Majoro?
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, Chair. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Thank you very much. Yes, Chair, we have taken note of the comments that are made, especially with regards to the clear timelines on the implementation plan. And I think that those comments are meant for municipality, province, and the office of the Premier. Chair, can you please allow me to hand over to the municipal manager to give clarity on the questions that were raised regarding the report that was submitted? I know that the HOD touched other parts, especially on the resettlement plan, but there are a few issues that I would request the municipal manager to clarify. With your permission, Chair.
Permission granted.
Mr. Mabuza?
No, thank you very much. I hope that I'm audible and you can see me, Chair.
Audible and thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. No, thank you very much. I think it's just one or two issues, Chair. I think there's an issue raised around specific time frame. I think maybe first, Chair, let me indicate that part of the committee resolutions speak to the monthly reporting to the committee. And I must indicate, Chair, that in our last engagement, I took responsibility that there was no monthly report that was submitted. And I think subsequent to that, Chair, we can confirm that on a monthly basis as a municipality, we submit our reports to COCTA and we also submit to the committee. So the report that you see is part of our monthly reporting to the committee because that is the directive I think that we that we got from the committee. And I must also confirm, as the executive mayor would have confirmed, that the presentation by COPTA is a collaborative effort, all inputs coming from ourselves and other stakeholders. But insofar as the timely manner as depicted in that monthly report, we have taken note of that, Chair, and of course we will rectify that going forward. But I must indicate that the deadline for that particular process is the 24th of October, 2025. So we can replace the timely manner with that specific report. And that is purely due to procurement processes and time frames. But we do take note of that, Chair. I think there's also an issue, Chair, that is raised around, and I think the HOD would have put it properly, that the focus really that you would see in that monthly reporting will talk to the 25,000 that will need to be relocated. And I'm not going to go back to the issue around housing typologies. I think the MEC, the HOD, and the Office of the Premier would have explained the challenges in terms of the housing typologies and the policy that we have in the country, and how it creates a bit of challenges insofar as the Merafong situation is concerned. But perhaps, Chair, I know that there is a request that a particular report be presented in terms of the how rigid the policy is. But just to further assist the committee, so we have 5 housing typologies, and the HOD would have presented this. So you will have what you will call your RDP, which is your low cost, and then you will have your FLISP, which is what you will call your finance-linked individual subsidy program, which is partly government and partly individual funded. You will then have your SHRA, which is your social housing. You will have your community residential units, and so forth. So the problem is that none of these, Chair, will then cater for the current situation in Merafong. And that's where the policy dynamic and the policy gap is. And I think it's a matter, as presented by the HOD, that we need the assistance of the committee, perhaps to assist us in convincing national government to relook at that particular policy with specific concerns around issues of Merafong. So the 25,000 shares, I conclude, would really talk to the houses that will be located in what you will call the red zone. And I think it's part of the reports that we would have submitted to the committee as such. Chair, with those words, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, we're taking note of your inputs, and I really appreciate that. And I think it's something that we should also be able to look into, and it's a concern that members raise. I think Honorable Member touched on it as well. And I think it came out strongly when we did the local inspection, that people will say, I stayed in a 5-bedroom room or 7-bedroom, but now I'm being moved to a small unit. What do I do with my furniture? What do I do with my other belongings? And I think something that we should really, members, give our attention. Members, mine is just to say that as I wrap up this meeting, that you will await those reports, HOD and the MEC, in terms of your undertakings. Very important. Members want to be furnished with that information. And then my will be say that maybe we allow also space to get the work done, and not to give you a bit of space to work on it. But my joy would be that we should come as a committee again to Gauteng, and specifically to Khutsong. It might not happen this year, maybe when we reopen next year, that we go to Gautenville as we do that meeting. But I'm going to say, members, I will schedule a separate meeting of us as a committee, just to fasten those loose ends as a committee. But in terms of the stakeholders meeting and the open meeting again, I would really like us to have a physical session in Gautenville. It will also assist us to assess progress. And as I said earlier on, seeing with your eyes is completely different to seeing a written report. And I think that will assist us, but that will be discussed in our separate meetings. Honorable members and honorable MEC and your team, the mayor, honorable members from Gauteng, honorable Gentil, I see you're still with us. I really appreciate that. My counterpart from the Gauteng legislature, I want to express my appreciation for your continued support. I want to express my appreciation for your participation in this matter. It helps us as a committee to really make an impact in the lives of South Africans. If there are no other pressing issues, honorable members, I'm going to propose closure of this meeting and wish you all of the best for the rest of the day in your endeavors. With those words, this meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Hello, Chair. Bye-bye.
Siyabonga, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you.